Welcome to the Firelight Awakening. If you're joining us live on any of the platform, please go ahead and hit a fire emoji in the chat. If you are watching the replay, still put a firelight emoji. That's our tradition here. We will hit another firelight emoji to you back, and we love to have you here every week. So let's get into today's business. You prayed for this. You even worked hard for it. You sacrificed for that particular thing. And guess what? Now it's happening. I don't know. Maybe it's happening. For you, it's a business. For you, it's a book. For you, it's a course. For you, it's something that you are actually creating, that you can see this vision actually come to fruition and you are excited about it. But something inside of you wants to sabotage. The voice that is saying, no, you're not ready for this next level. This is too much, you fall. And I've heard these voices. Early this year, I started a newsletter on LinkedIn, and it's getting close to 5,000 subscribers right now for the Future Systems newsletter. If you are on LinkedIn, please check out Future Systems and we'll be glad to have you on our community. But as the thing begins to grow, then you begin to ask yourself, am I able to serve this community? Am I able to be consistent? And some of those questions start coming to you. Maybe you're building a Facebook community. Maybe you're writing a book. Maybe you're starting a course. Maybe you want to start a new job. Maybe it's a new business, something you're doing. And at the time when it's about to gain traction, that sabotage starts coming. It starts telling you, are you really ready for this? Guess what? This is not weakness talking. That's really the mountain that is learning your name, the mountain that is beginning to see that, wow, this person is going somewhere. And guess what? You don't meet your mountain at the beginning. At the beginning, you're so full of hunger, you are so full of energy, of the quest to succeed in the initiative. The vision is clear, you are hopeful, you are running on high adrenaline level. And guess what? At that particular point, nothing can stop you. I think of learning AI. That's one of the experiences I had during COVID that I can never forget. I was like a kid. Think about staying awake all night in a clubhouse room, just learning AI, trying new tools. At that time during COVID, I mean, AI and Chat GPT was just new, and everyone was excited about what it could do. We were 24/7 in a room. I mean, you would step out to go drink water, step out, but you couldn't sleep. The excitement was there because it was something new. And guess what? When things start happening, that start demanding your expansion, that start demanding systems, that's when you know that the mountain has begun to learn your name. You don't see that kind of a mountain at the beginning. At the beginning, like I said, you're hungry, you're hopeful, you're running on adrenaline. The dream is soft, the dream just started. It has not been tested yet. It has not met real deadlines, it has not met opinions, it has not met real money, it has not met real people that depend on you. So there is still just not enough at stake for you to measure how challenging this can be. But you don't meet your mountain, like I said at the beginning. You meet it when the real work kicks in, when that business gets traction. Think about it. The newsletter, like I said, I mean, when you think about 5,000 subscribers, you want to be able to measure up that if someone is going to open this newsletter they've subscribed to every week as you drop the editions, it should be something worth their while. People start watching, whether it's your YouTube channel, your Facebook, reading your content, reading your published books, or coming to your courses. When your name begins to travel ahead of you, you get in and they say, oh, that's Dr. Vivian. You get in, they say, oh, that's this person. They start calling you by name. And guess what? When that thing that God placed inside of you begins to demand structure from the outside, and when God even answers your prayers, maybe not in ways that you exactly imagined, maybe it's kind of overwhelming for you, and you are thinking, like, God, this is not really what I sound up for. And At that point, the resistance becomes personal. You can feel it. You can feel the weight. I mean, think about Jesus facing the cross. I mean, this guy could feel the personal resistance. He could feel the challenge of going to accomplish this big goal that is ahead of him. And at one point, he's like, no, maybe Father, take this off my plate if it's possible, but if not, let thy will be done. Because guess what? The will of finishing the plan, the purpose, that project, that business that you are working on, that book, that podcast, that newsletter, whatever it is you're busy with, it's going to stretch you. It's going to demand more of you. It's going to demand a new version of you. Because guess what? Success does not only bring you opportunity, success brings exposure. And exposure does not only reveal your gift, it also reveals the gap, what needs to be built. And you think about it, Jesus had to go and pray, pray overnight. He went to Gethsemane to pray, just asking for the grace to fulfill his purpose, and the gap between your opportunity and your capacity. And that gap is that mountain, and you need to face it. If it's prayer you need, if it's a new course you need, whatever it is that you need to do. And sometimes most people miss this. People think that the mountain is their obstacle. Guess what? The mountain is your teacher. Your mountain is your teacher. The threshold between who you are right now, and who you must become. Who you must become. You must become a new person. By the end of this series, I hope you become something you cannot even recognize. You think that fire is meant to stop you, that challenge is meant to stop you. Guess what? It's actually meant to forge you. Think about Jesus facing the cross, facing the grave, and resurrecting out of it, and like looking back at that grave and say, oh, you can't stop me. Every pressure you are feeling right now, it's not punishment. It is precision. It's exactly the thing that you need to calibrate you, to shape you into the person who can carry the weight, into the person who can carry the project, the person who can carry that business, the person who can host that podcast, the person who can write that new book that will become a bestseller, the person who can start that course that will teach and transform people, the person that can do that thing that you need to do. You know, the mountain is not the work. The mountain is who you believe you must become to do the work. You know, I am trusting God to become a better version of me every day. The version that can deliver on the vision. The version that can host my podcast, The Clarity Mandate, in a way that I need to host it. The version that can host my podcast, The Firelight Awakening, in a way that brings value and transformation to community. The version that can write the books I'm writing. The version that can do my newsletter in a way that brings value and transformation to the leaders that read it, the community, the entrepreneurs, the version of me that can do the things that I need to do. That is the version that I am praying every day as we do all this. So, like I said, most people really don't want to become this. And I love a quote that is in my book, When the Mountain Moves, and I want each and every one of you, if you have not yet read that book, please grab a copy, because we would be doing this series actually looking deep into some of the chapters of that book, just so that we use it practical. I always say knowledge is useless if you don't really apply it. And one of the quotes in the book says, the mountain is not the work. The mountain is who you believe you must become. This is passionate for me, because who must I become to do what I need to do, to leave this earth empty, and to do justice to the vision, the purpose that God has given me for my season, for my generation. And let me begin to tell you some of the things you must do. If you haven't done yet, I would indulge you to read the book. Read the ebook. just get a copy of the book. You want to grab when the mountain moves back to. Just go to Amazon. This is not optional if you really want to dig deep into this. The next 30 days, if you want to become a part of this, walking through this acceleration of awakening in this area together, I really beg you to have a copy of that book. It's a couple of dollars, and read it and read it. That book is your foundation. Every teaching that we'll be doing this month is actually anchored in the framework that is in the book. The next thing is join the Firelight community. I mean, we are a growing faith-based community because guess what? You can't walk this journey alone. You can't transform alone. Jesus himself had to say to Peter, pray with me. Pray with me, my brothers. Pray with me. And if you want to look at the power of community from the beginning in Genesis chapter 2, guess what? God was so intentional. God has always been intentional about community. If you go to Genesis chapter 1, where God created the world, I mean, he could have created, I still believe God the Father has the capacity, the ability to create the universe without the help of anyone else. But God decided to say, let us, the Godhead, let God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, let us create man in our image, because God believes in the power of community. And when he created man, God went ahead in Genesis 2 and said, it is not good for man to be alone. Man always needs companion. You can't run that business by your own. You can't do your podcast by your own. You can't write your books and be successful. That thing you're doing, newsletter, whatever it is, you want to belong to community. You want to be somewhere where iron sharpens iron and help you, teaching you month by month, week by week, sharing wins, being accountable with someone, holding someone and growing together. And if you find our community interesting, we'll put the details in the description. Would like to have you as part of the Firelight community. Self-sabotage. It's not a character flaw. It's a protection strategy at work. And sometimes we don't recognize this thing because somewhere along your story, you learned that certain things are dangerous. Visibility, arrest, success, being known. I mean, some people have learned in their community, oh no, if you have too much money, you are either in a secret society, and these people have all kinds of things they have learned growing up that affects them, because guess what? Your nervous system built walls, smart walls, sophisticated walls, walls that keep that kind of danger out. But guess what? That walls, they also keep growth out. When you go across cultures, across industries and faith backgrounds, I've seen these patterns. I've seen these patterns repeat themselves consistently, not because they are universal weaknesses, but because they are survival strategies. People have learned these things from parents, grandparents, community. And let me share some of these patterns so that as we begin to look at these more closely, we are able to identify them. We are able to actually deal with them so that you can become that version of you that can carry the vision. The fork, pattern number 1. Endless preparation. We live in a world where we have an information overload, especially in this AI era. People keep rewriting the plans, writing. The confidence looks like wisdom outside, but guess what? It feels like safety inside. Nothing moves. Every day you are updating your plans. Every day you are updating your plans. Today you have a vision. The next day you rewrite it. And guess what? You have no clarity, and you might want to become part of the clarity mandate. So we point you in the right direction. And the next pattern is the fire. Intense productivity. Some people get busy. They are busy producing. And guess what? The pattern goes from production to burnout cycles that repeat. Work becomes something that regulates you, and rest becomes dangerous. And they keep repeating these patterns over and over. And the third pattern, talk about the mirror, people pleasing. You don't want to offend anyone. You want to become overgiving, adapting yourself for what others need, not what you need. What's your mandate? You're going to be accountable for your own life, not for the lives of others. You're going to be accountable for your purpose. And the other one is the cage. Analysis by paralysis. You need certainty before you move. Oh, you want to manage this. You are confused, your anxiety with all kinds of preparation. You need to be a part of the clarity mandate. So we begin to share some clarity with you. And the last pattern that I see that is actually part of this patterns, it's the cliff. You want to wait until the last minute, last minute people, last minute, and the adrenaline comes up, and guess what? You are under pressure and things stress before you know it, things collapse. And after we've said this, maybe you begin to identify yourself. Oh, the fog, guess what? I keep preparing, I keep preparing. You talk about the fires. Oh, I am an overproducer and I get into cycles of burnout. I'm a people pleaser. I always want everyone to be happy, and maybe you are the last one to be happy. And maybe I'm dealing with things like analysis by paralysis, no action, keep analyzing, keep waiting for certainty. Or maybe I'm a last minute person. Analyze all of this and see which pattern that you might notice yourself in one or notice yourself in multiple patterns. That's normal. That's normal for many people. But the shift sometimes might be based on seasons and patterns and things like that. The fog can show up sometimes in a particular season in your life. Maybe you are scared. The fires can show up when you want to prove something. You want to work very hard, so you push hard for the productivity. The mirror can show up. Maybe you're around people and you want to please them. You want everybody to be happy. The cage, and sometimes the stakes are high. The stakes are high. And this can also show the cliff. I mean, there is urgency and you need their deadlines to be met. And for me, here is the game changer. Here is the game changer. The pattern is not you. The pattern is a survival strategy that your nervous system is running to keep you safe. It wants to keep you safe, and which means you can interrupt the pattern. You can upgrade the pattern. You can build something completely new without shame, without trying to please anyone, without forcing yourself to try harder. And I love another quote that is in the book. One of the quotes is, each pattern is not a weakness. Each pattern is misdirected strength. Misdirected strength. A survival skill that once protected you, now misapplied to a season that requires something different. So I want you to go back into the book and you will be able to see all of this. So like I said, you want to go back and identify as we begin to round up. I told you I always leave your action point. What is your primary pattern? And I want you to dig deep, get that book, go to chapter 3. It will go deep on these 5 patterns with precision, and you will know which pattern is yours, not for shame, but for strategy, so that you can know how to get yourself out of this pattern. And I want you to share this community. Post which pattern. I want you to come back to this community, share which pattern showed up for you, and how many others are running maybe a protection strategy. That's how we begin to identify, isolate these patterns, deal with them, and evolve. Like I said, these patterns are not God-given. They can be interrupted. And the last thing I would like to ask of you, I'll beg of you, commit to the next 30 days. Come back the next day. Come back tomorrow. And we want to continue to dismantle these patterns, not harshly, but methodically. For me, this is a precision that works. This is where transformation becomes really real. I mean, if you're joining us for the first time, this is the Firelight Awakening, our show here at the Firelight Advantage. We are always, always happy to have you. Please like this if it has been useful to you, to help you actually look at some of the patterns. If you have been able to identify that mountain that was actually meant to forge you, and you identify yourself with any of these 5 patterns, please like, subscribe, be a part of our community, share it with someone who might need it, and above all, come back to the community. I will see you in the next episode.